So here I'm going to actually go through how I would do a DBQ from start to finish. Okay, I'm going to set myself little timers here. So our recommendation from College Board is that you have a 15-minute reading time, so that's getting to know the documents, things like that, and then 45 minutes to type it all up. All right, so I'm going to actually show you what you would be seeing on your little screen here, right, in Blue Book or whatever it's called, and how to actually like approach this effectively. All right, so 15-minute reading time starting now. So here we got: evaluate the extent to which the environment and or knowledge of the environment affected imperial expansion in the period 1450 to 1750. Okay, I'm going to do my TOTS. I want capital because that helps me. TOTS. All right, my time period, my restrictions, my location. It looks like that's the world. Okay, so global. Sweet. But I know I'm 1450 to 1750, so I know that is Unit 3 and 4. I'm just going to keep that in mind. Oh, well, it helps if you don't push Shift. Okay, well, that's eating my time. So I know this is the land-based empires and transoceanic interconnections, so I'm going to go ahead and put, we've got Ottoman, Safavid, Mughal is the other one. Oh, I got Tokugawa. Nope. Tokugawa. I'm like super nervous. Tokugawa. That's Japan. I know I've got China. Oh my God, not Chia. Russia is expanding here. I know I've got, so those are my like land-based. Oh, Aztec and Inca. Okay, and then my transoceanic, I know I've got Spain as a biggie. It's like their one time of glory. England gets in there. Portugal's first. Germany is not involved. They're having their own issue with the Protestant Reformation. France is a little bit involved. Italy, not so much. The Dutch. The Dutch were super involved. All right, cool. All right, let's see here. Let's go down to the big topic. So what's my big topic? Extent to which environment or knowledge of the environment is affecting. So my opinion is affect. So what kind and how much? What am I looking at? Let's see here. Subtopic would be, what am I having an effect on? I'm having an effect on imperial expansion. So imperial expansion is my topic. Expansion. So again, that can be any of them. That can be land-based. That can be transoceanic. And my subtopic is environment. All right, so see, because that's more specific. So I'm going to go looking through these documents, and I'm going to be looking at, okay, what does it say about imperial expansion? What does it say about the environment? And what kind of effect? So I need to know the extent of the effect, big, small, little, kind of, sort of. And I need to know the kinds of effects. So like, did it encourage it? Did it not encourage it? Did it help them have better labor and better crops? That type of thing. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go through my docs. All right, doc 1, and I'm going to leave myself some space. Doc 2, and I'm going to leave myself some space. Doc 3, leave myself some space. 4, and I know I only need to do 4 minimum, so I'm going to see if I can do the first 4 and see what kind of trends I get here. Okay, so document 1. I've got, can I do anything else here? Copy, paste. I can indent. Oh, I can upload a picture. That's weird. Okay, well, I can't do bullet points or anything. Well, that's nice because you're not supposed to be doing bullet points, so that's fine. But I can underline this because I also know it's going to make the reader real happy if I just underline doc 3 and doc whatever every time, so that way it pops out at them. Okay, document 1. Babur, Muslim military leader from Central Asia who conquered northern India, established the Mughal dynasty. It's his memoirs, circa 1530. Okay, so already before I get in here, I'm going to think of my sourcing. So my sourcing for this, Babur is the first leader of the Mughals. So he's establishing a dynasty. It's his memoirs, so that means he's gonna be self-aggrandizing, meaning like he's gonna talk himself up. Self-aggrandizing, you know, because he's kind of establishing his future. So this is his legacy. That's a good word, legacy. All right. And I also know he's conquering northern India. So he's Muslim taking over Hindi. Okay, so I'm going to keep that in mind. All right, my description of this document. Okay. During the monsoon rains in India, the banks of rivers became worn into deep channels, difficult to pass through. In many parts, thorny jungles grow behind the good defense. Okay, we got a difficult environment. Because I want to focus on environment. Difficult environment like monsoons, thorns, right? Rivers, and it's a defense. So this is a defense for the natives, okay? Behind the good defense of which the people became stubbornly rebellious and pay no taxes. Okay, so this is in terms of expansion. So I'm going to do E for expansion. The natives are kind of hiding behind it and being rebellious. However, because of the abundance of rain, they need not dig irrigation canals or construct dams because their crops are all rain grown. Ooh, okay, so we've got rain, that's not how you spell rebellious. Okay, easy crop growing. So that could make them money. All right. Sometimes during the monsoon, it rains 10, 15, 20 times a day. Oof. Wouldn't you just say, whatever. The bows and arrows of our soldiers are ruined within a few weeks. Everything is affected. Ooh, okay. Okay, so rain. So this, easy crop growing for the natives. Damage conquerors or colonizers. Weapons and like self. Their houses, their armor. Let's say stuff. Okay, cool. Now, you guys will be able to do highlights and notes. So like what I would do is I would go in here and instead of stuff, I'd highlight what is affected. But I don't have access to that right now because it's only December. God forbid they actually get prepared. Okay. Now I'm sitting at 7 minutes left of my 15 minutes. I would rather do all of this and spend more time in my reading than having in that 45 minutes to write. Because if I do this right, I'm good. So far, I'm seeing that it's a difficult environment, and its effect is +1 for the natives. All right, so natives benefit / defense is kind of the way it is. So this means expansion is delayed or difficult. Because the natives benefit from the difficult terrain. Okay. Document 2. Alonso Ponce. I don't know that name. Spanish priest. Okay, so we've got Catholic. So again, I'm going to put my sourcing here. We've got Catholic. Inspector of religious properties in Mexico. Report to church authorities in Spain. Okay. So he's Catholic reporting to church authorities. To church authorities. So maybe that's probably going to make him like, he's only going to be focusing on religious. It's probably not the best sourcing thing. I think that first one is good because he's going to be self-aggrandizing. So he's really pointing out how difficult it was to make himself look like a better conqueror because he was able to get over the difficultness. So I'm going to go up here and do braggy. Okay. Over exaggerate difficulty. So I don't, question mark? Okay. What about my description? And then my effect. All right, my description. In Mexico, there are many valleys and wide and spacious savannas that provide pastures for cattle and sheep. Oh, that's nice. Cattle have multiplied so much that it seems they are native to the country. So full are the fields of them. They reproduce much more quickly than in Spain, as the climate is temperate. Okay, so we've got better environment for cattle. That's Johnson. Spell your stuff. Okay. They're being bred by settlers and Indians at less cost and with less labor than it would have been possible in Spain. Okay, so better environment for cattle. The effect is more food, more, what are they called? They're called animals of labor. Is that what they're not called like that, but animals for labor. I'll just put, I know there's a term for it and I can't remember it. All right, so this seems easy. So let's see here. Knowing the savanna, because we got to have details in our descriptions, right? Savanna and climate are nice. Okay, so since he's not focusing on religious, but he is reporting to an authority. So he's going to be encouraging people to come or money to be sent. So make it seem nice. And he is, he's describing this nice, oh, it's so peaceful and great. 1588, that's about almost 100 years after. I don't really know. Nothing's popping off the top of my head about 1588 to explain why he's writing this. So I'm just going to use his point of view. So this is making it easier. So I've got another, easier to thrive. That's a good word here. We've got easier to thrive, animals prospering. All right, let's see if document 3, description, explanation. I got 3 minutes left on my reading time, but I'm not going to let that stress me out. Document 3, anonymous Indian painter at the Mughal court, painting of a Portuguese caravel with a multi-ethnic crew, India, circa 1590. All right, that's not really throwing anything out. 1590, I'm not thinking, I'm drawing a blank. I'm kind of like nervous right now. Painting of a Portuguese caravel. You know what it's showing? Do I even... Okay, I gotta zoom in. Whoop. It looks like... Can I do this? Zoom. Can I zoom in? Nope, I can just copy it. Well, I don't think you'll be able to. I'm gonna go... Nope. That just made it worse. That made it way worse. Okay, I want to see this bigger because I'm old. It looks like the caravel's crashing because of those tidal waves. So caravel ship crashing in waves. So again, this is making it difficult to expand because of like native knowledge. Like you need that native knowledge. And the person who's struggling to expand here is Portugal. And these are of those winds, right? So they didn't pay attention to time period 1 when we learned about that. God, way to go, Portugal. Oh, look, they're like holding each other like, oh, we're sad. Or, buddy, please save me. This guy's super chill. What is this guy doing? Like, oh, this is rain. Okay. They all look really calm, but I'm just going to put that as the art style back then. I got nothing to source here. So I'm just going to put nah. Okay, Johnson, do you know what keys are on this thing? Okay, let's go to document 4. Sourcing, description, explanation. All right, I got a minute left and I'm on my document 4. All right, Jan van Riebeeck I don't know how to say it. Rubric, official of the Dutch East India Company, okay, who led the first Dutch settlement in what became the Cape of Good Hope colony in southern Africa, diary entry 1656. Okay, so sourcing, ew, I don't want this underlined. The Dutch, I do know the Dutch East India Company, also known as VOC, is super wealthy. Would that be enough to like explain like the historical context of it? No, because it was established before this. So I don't think that would be good enough. It's a diary entry, but I don't know this person's name like off the top. Like I don't know him specifically in the story of the world. I do know that the Portuguese. Oh, all right. So that's my 15 minutes. So now I'm going to go into my 45 minutes for typing this up. All right. I got nothing. All right. So let's go into the details of it. January 17th, dark skies and dry wind destroying the pasture, so nothing is left for our cattle to eat. Oh no! Some old cows are consequently falling ill, and we are compelled to kill them for food. The milk cows are drying up. Every year it becomes clear that during the dry season, very little can be obtained from them. Oof. All right, so we've got difficult seasons here. Cattle dying. February 25th, returned from Robben Island in Cape Town Harbor, found pasture there for an additional 2,000 sheep. Despite its apparent dryness, the sheep that have already been transported there have an abundance to eat off the native bushes and have all grown extraordinarily fat. Okay, so in terms of expansion, they're forced to expand to find pasture for animals. Okay. So again, we've got difficult terrain. The cattle are dying, so then they have to expand. Okay. So up here, animals not prospering. Animals dying. Forced expansion. Okay. I'm going to go one more, just because I don't quite see a strong enough argument here. Doc 5. Okay, sourcing, description. What's the effect? Okay. Evliya Çelebi? Nope, don't know that name. Ottoman government official and travel writer. Account of his 1661 experience as a courier for a provincial governor in the Ottoman Balkans from the Book of Travels. Okay, so he's a travel writer. He's Ottoman. All right. Where is he, though? Oh, he's in the Balkans. Okay, so it's not too different. Okay. I rode up Mount Shishan. After 3 hours, a local infidel or Christian armed with a club appeared. Hey, Turk, he said, what are you doing on our mountain? I have come to see your leader, Yano Beg. We dismounted and proceeded through steep terrain and thick forest. 500 or 600 armed infidels lined our path. Okay, so we've got mountainous difficulty. Natives can defend this easily. Hello and welcome, cried Yano, the chief bandit. Is this rude to call them infidel and bandit? Okay, so that is... All right, so he's going to be Muslim point of view. Calling names. Infidel, bandit. Not respecting natives. Okay, hello and welcome. How did you dare to come up the mountain so fearlessly? I replied, my master, the provincial governor, has sent me here to tell you that the villages in your mountain owe the government 3 loads of silver coins and unpaid taxes. Dang. The judge has given a court order that the money must be collected, so I fear you, but I also fear my master. Wow. Okay, so, again, the natives not paying taxes and hiding behind environment. Okay, so he's a travel writer. How is this going to affect his point of view? Or what he's saying? Muslim point of view, calling names, infidel, bandit, not respecting the natives. He might make it seem scarier so that way he looks better. But I don't know, he's just writing a book of travels. He's a courier. He says he fears his master. So maybe he's going to make it seem difficult for respect of his master because he fears master more than natives and scary mountains. Okay. All right. I feel good going through 5. So what I'm seeing here is we've got, again, another name. Okay, so I definitely need to use this. And then what I see here in common is animals. Okay, so the effect is that the natives benefit and that the animals that they brought. How can I put this? Okay. It delayed expansion because of, I could put easier to thrive and force expansion. Of course, you're going to expand more if it's easier to thrive. Okay, so I'm going to X that. So those are my 2 reasonings. It made it delayed or very difficult. And it forced expansion. Okay, so let's get ourselves a thesis. Let's look back up to how it's written. Okay, the extent to which the environment, I just evaluate the extent to which to make the claim, the environment and or knowledge of the environment affected imperial expansion in the period, and then I have to agree or disagree. So, how do I want to word this? The environment allowed for, okay, the environment allowed for natives to, I don't want to use rebel or fight back, maybe challenge. Natives to challenge. No, I don't like this. This is tricky. This is tricky. This is tricky. Okay. Okay. Knowledge of the environment. I like that better. Environment affected imperial expansion by allowing the natives' knowledge of their own environment delayed imperial expansion due to, what would you call it? Let's just say because they knew of its difficulties, but learning of the environment by the colonizers encouraged them to expand even more due to the animals they brought with them. All right, it's not the sexiest thesis statement, but that's my thesis statement. Okay. So we've got that. Okay. I need some outside evidence because that's an easy point to get. Okay. Outside evidence. All right, I've got 36 and a half minutes left. All right. What do I know about knowing the terrain, the Maroon societies? Boom! That's brilliant, Johnson. Brilliant. Maroon societies, knowing own environment in South America, and Jamaica was a good one. We had Mama, ooh, nope, wrong Mama. I can't remember her name, or was she a queen? I can't remember her name. But Jacob's not a place. Jamaica and the Maroon Societies should be specific enough to give me that. And that goes with natives challenging expansion. The natives' knowledge of their own environment delayed a challenge. Let's do challenged. Challenged imperial expansion because of it. I'll just say of its difficulties. But learning of the environment by the colonizers encouraged expansion. Encouraged expansion because, encouraged expansion because the animals they brought with them needed to prosper. I don't know. That sounds weird, but you know, it's whatever. All right, so see, I've got my claims and my reasonings there. Okay. I could do this where it's like, while the natives' knowledge of their own environment challenged imperial expansion because of its difficulties, the colonizers' learning of the environment encouraged it even more. Due to that sounds nice. Heimler would like it, but you know what? I'm not going to waste my time on it because I've already used up a lot of time. Okay. All right. So now I need to organize this. So document 1 is definitely with the natives. Document 2 is with the non-natives. Am I going to use document 3? Yeah, I can use document 3. This is animals. So that's going to go here. Document 3 is going to go up with the, so I'm just cutting and pasting right now. So Control X, Control V. And then, excuse me, go down here. This is also, okay. Now I just got to put it into words. Cool, 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 cool. So my first paragraph is, and my outside evidence goes here. All right, let's see. Do I have enough sourcing? I've got 1 sourcing. I've got 2 sourcing. I've got 3 sourcing. I'm going to do 3 just to cover my butt. I've got 1 document, 2 documents, 3 documents, 4, 5, again, just to cover my butt. I ain't shooting for complexity on this. I just need to calm down. All right. So my first my first body paragraph is going to be imperial expansion was often challenged due to the natives' knowledge of their own, no, I'll just say due to, because that third document isn't like, that Caravel one isn't the natives knowing it. It's just the Portuguese failing epically. Due to the difficult nature of the native environment. Get it? Difficult nature and its environment. Oh, snap! Oh, I hope the reader gets it. I could write, no, don't do that. It's formal academic writing. Often challenge due to the difficult nature of the native environment. And then I'm going to not underline so that way they can see my topic sentence. In document 1, let's scroll up so I can actually name drop here. Bobber describes, what is he doing? He's describing the local terrain of India. He mentions that it has, let's see here, deep rivers, thorns in the jungle, horrible rains, and monsoons. All of these end up damaging the colonizers' attempts to expand. See, there's my reasoning. By damaging their armor and weapons. No, I don't like that. Armor, weapons, and even the houses they build. The natives also use this to their advantage by often rebelling and not paying their taxes. Now, I can't just say that. I have to do some reasoning because they know the colonizers cannot get through the difficult terrain. Boom, that is sexy reasoning. Let's use our correct letters here because they know the colonizers cannot get through the difficult terrain. It is, now I like to start my sourcing with like, it's important to know. It is important to note, however, that this is an excerpt from Babur's own memoirs. Babur was the first leader of the new Mughal Empire. So he would be more self-aggrandizing in his descriptions, often making the terrain seem more difficult so that he comes off looking like a baller, but we can't say that, looking more heroic and amazing. All right, so that's document 1's little blurb. All right, moving on. I'm gonna go with the second one first. No. Nope, we're just go, okay. The difficult monsoons mentioned by Babur also come into play when looking at the, what was it, a carving, a what, a painting. The painting of a Portuguese caravel in document 3. The painting is showing crashing waves sinking a caravel. These massive monsoon waves would often crash ships, making imperial expansion very difficult for those who did, always got to bring it back to knowledge of environment, did not know the pattern of the native monsoon winds. Okay, and that's pretty much all I had for that one, right? Difficult to expand because, yeah. I've got the description. I just gotta make sure I got everything. I have a description of it and how it's making it very difficult for those who did not know the pattern of the native monsoon winds. making imperial expansion. Okay, I did say that. Okay, all right. That one was pretty easy because I didn't put sourcing in there. All right, now, another example of natives using, wait, didn't I have another one? Yeah, document 5. Duh. Natives using, okay, so I'm going to put this one, actually, I'm going to finish writing and I'm going to put it up there with that other one. So maybe I'll put document 3. No, okay. Of natives using their own knowledge of their environment to their advantage. I'm going to go ahead and do my outside sourcing because that segues better to it, or outside evidence. To their advantage would be the establishment of, to their advantage to challenge imperial expansion would be the establishment of maroon societies in the Americas, and now I'm going to say in South America and Jamaica because that's specific enough. In South America and Jamaica. Jamaica. In Jamaica, right? Yeah. In Jamaica. These maroon societies were, now I got to describe it, were made up of natives and enslaved Africans escaping the harsh conditions of plantations. Actually, it's the sugar plantations. Anytime I can get specific. Plantations. Since the natives knew the jungles and seas, they could easily lead the Africans with them and established secret societies in the jungles or on islands, making it blah, 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 blah. Okay, we got to bring it back to the expansion, making it difficult for the colonizers to continue making money off of the coerced labor system. Bringing in as many freaking vocab words as possible. Systems. Okay, so that's my outside evidence. Hopefully that's good enough. I don't know. We got to run this through Heimler. Okay, now we've got the Muslim. Okay, yeah. Okay, so document 5. Let's put document 5 up here. In document 5, the natives use their knowledge of the steep mountains of, that was in the Balkans, of the Balkans to hide from the Ottoman tax collectors. I'm going to go find document 5 so I can get some more specifics. The mountains were very, I gotta show that it's difficult, were very steep and had thick forests. So natives would hope that the tax farmers, because remember they were tax farming, would be too scared to go into the, I don't want to say icky, but the challenging, that's not how you spell that, challenging environment. Where am I? Challenging environment in order to, this isn't sounding right. I need to make it like about rebellion or challenging the expansion. That's how you spell that word. And had thick forests. So natives would, okay, yeah. Would challenge the imperial expansion by simply hiding out and not paying taxes. It kind of sounds a little redundant, but I think maybe I worded it better there. I gotta bold that. Who is it? Vilja Levy even makes the statement that he is afraid of the natives and the environment. However, it should be noted that he is a government official and travel writer. This means that he would most likely make the terrain seem scarier so that he comes off as brave to his does he call him his provincial governor? His provincial governor. Provincial governor or master. So that's okay to quote. I've got 18 minutes left. Or master whom he fears even more. All right. Then we have in document 1. So that kind of bleeds better in document 1. Document 1 bleeds better into my outside evidence, which is another example. Control X. Actually, I'm going to put it in between these. And I'm going to bold maroon societies so they know that that's my outside evidence. Boom. So they can already see here, that's my mini thesis. I'm using document 5, 1, and 3, and my outside evidence is maroon societies. Okay. My next paragraph is, oh, I want to source. Oh no, I already did. I already sourced that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm talking about, okay, as colonizers learned more about the environment that they conquered, it allowed them to continue expanding as it would benefit their animals' grazing. Again, kind of awkward, but you know what? They know that this is a rough draft. All right. I'm going to scroll up to document 2. This Alonso guy. All right. Our priest. Okay. In document 2, Alonso Ponce makes a report to the church authorities in in Spain from Mexico. He describes how the beautiful savanna and amazing climate allowed for the cattle that they brought over to prosper and thrive better than they did in Spain. This would encourage expansion since he is writing to authorities. No, this would encourage expansion since the animals are doing better, making life seem easier in Mexico than it is in Spain. Also note that he is writing to authorities, so he would definitely make sure to describe it as easy so that more people can be sent to Mexico and Spain can further her glory of colonizing the Americas. A little dramatic, but you know. All right, so that's document 2. Okay. Oh, more food. I should put that in. Prosper and thrive, and so encourage, for instance, animals are doing better, making life seem easier in Mexico and Spain by providing more food and animals for labor. I did. There, that's better. Okay. Animals not prospering in native environments could also force expansion. Well, let's do on the other hand. On the other hand, animals not prospering could also force expansion. For example, in document 4, scroll down. I have 13 minutes left. In document 4, who are you? Jan van Riebeek. I don't know Dutch pronunciation. Describes in his diary how darkness and dry winds make it difficult for the cattle? For the cattle, their main source of food, for the cattle to live. Cows start dying and milk dries up. In order to help their cattle, the Dutch settlers then expand to better geography where the cattle then prosper. Cattle and sheep. How does it tell how far away they go? Oh no. Expand to better geography in Robin Island. We need to make note of the places. So they describe how darkness and dry winds in Cape Town, or no, in the Cape of Good Hope. That way it shows expansion. Make it difficult, okay? Then prosper. So the settlers need to help their own animals, force them to expand to find better lands. Better lands, allowing their food source to live on. All right, that's kind of awkward. All right, so I've got everything down. I need to make sure I bold document 4. Okay, so technically I've done everything except for context and I've got 10 minutes left. So let's go up here. So my time period is, and I'm going to put this before my thesis, global. All right, so we've got a bunch of stuff. 1450 to 1750. In the period 1450 to 1750. All right, we're talking about expansion and environment. So, Portugal set sail and started a global. No, they didn't start global. Okay. How about this? Europe was starting their Renaissance and learning from interactions with other cultures. This led them to create and innovate new maritime technology like the caravel, Dutch flout, and the carrack, encouraging them to leave the continent and set up colonies. Spain settled in South and Central America, destroying the Aztec and Incas, while France and England settled in Canada and North America. Meanwhile, land empires like the Ottomans and Mughals, because those are mentioned in my documents, and Mughals expanded using gunpowder and superior weapon technology. This allowed them to use special soldiers like the Janissaries and advanced tax collection systems. 7 minutes left. Like tax farming to control their newly conquered lands. Okay, I gotta make sure that I'm bringing it into these new lands that the Europeans and Southwest Asia, we'll call them Muslim empires. Muslim empires. So the Europeans and Muslim empires colonized came with their own new environments that proved to be both blessings and difficulties. I think that segue's fine. All right, cool. So then we can delete this. I'm gonna end it. Nope, you can't end in. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure that goes there. And then I'm going to make sure they know that this is my thesis by italicizing it. All right, so I've got my context. I've got a thesis that is italicized. I've got my topic sentence that's underlined with my documents and outside evidence bolded. Oh, I need to underline this as my next topic sentence. Okay, bolded, bolded. Okay, we can delete this. I've got 5 minutes left, so let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 documents that I've used. I've sourced 1, 2, I've sourced 3. Can I source a 4th one? That way I get complexity. What about document 3? I've got 5 minutes left. The Muslim navigator at the ship's bows using an astrolabe. Okay. They're wanting me to get something out of the fact that it's multi-ethnic. It's an Indian painter. It's a multi-ethnic crew. How is that going to further my point of expansion? Okay, hold on. We'll try it. It should be noted that the painting was done by a native Indian painter. Indian painter rather than a Portuguese or Mughal painter. This is important because the Indian painter would have knowledge of these monsoon winds and what they can do to ships. So, okay, so what? So 3 minutes. Important because the Indian painter would have knowledge of these monsoon winds and what they can do to ships. Unlike the Portuguese? Portuguese travelers, explorers, giving the natives an advantage. I don't know, that sounds really jumbled, but again, they know it's rough draft. I don't know, maybe it'll get something. Whew. All right, there, I've sourced 4. All right, I could get everything. I've got context, thesis, document use, supporting my argument, outside evidence, complexity. I think, okay, cool. I think I'm done. All right. 2 minutes left to go. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, you know what we're going to do now? Is we're going to see what Heimler would say about this. Okay, so I'm in my Heimler AI. I'm going to go to world history. I'm going to go to the DBQ workshop, and I'm going to enter in all the details. BRB. Okay, so I entered everything. I had to, like, type it over because it was ridiculous. Ooh, I can already see it. Okay. And let's go ahead and send it. See what he says. Eek! I'm kind of nervous. Does Heimler like me? Actually, so I downloaded the DBQ into a PDF. I think I misinterpreted the picture of the caravel because on the PDF, let me go ahead and show you guys, the full picture came up. And apparently that little tiny thing was not the full picture. So like I only saw like this part, so it looked like it had crashed on the waves. Apparently it's still afloating. It looks to me like they are losing some stuff and they're struggling. So maybe I interpreted it correctly. I don't know. That might have been a smarter way to do that, would have been to just skip a picture and go down to read something else. So like this would be Qing, China. Maybe that was more useful, or Scottish in Russia. I don't know. Let's see what he's got to say. Okay, so Heimler tells me, let's dive into my contextualization. I set it up. Okay, cool. I got a point for context. My thesis, it's defensible, answers, multi-part. Cool, I got a point for thesis. My use of documents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He likes it. Point for using my documents. Arguing. Okay, let's. Oh, cool. I clearly tie them back to my thesis. I got a point for documents. Outside evidence. My maroon societies. I do provide it. Boom, got a point for outside evidence. Heck yeah, way to go me. Sourcing. Let's see if he gives it to me. I source at least 2. Okay, so it looks like he only likes 3 of my sourcings. I thought I did 4. I guess not. Complexity. Oh, I got it, because I explore multiple perspectives and provide a nuanced by challenges and benefits. Aha! Self 5. I did it. I got a 7. I was really nervous. Whew. I've hit all the points. Keep practicing and maintain this level of performance. So there you have it. I just did that. That was. I gotta go take a nap. That was exhausting.
That's all, folks.